We are taking a live look out there in Khan Younis as we continue to follow the latest developments regarding the war in Gaza. As you know, over the weekend, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, they're signaling that Israel will be allowing limited aid into the war-torn area. But he did announce also on Monday that his decision to resume that aid after the weeks-long blockade came under pressure from allies who said they would not be able to grant Israel the support it needs to win so long as there were images of hunger coming out of the Palestinian territory. Just moments ago, the Israeli foreign minister wrapping up some comments speaking on the situation. Let's take a look.
Probably already heard that during this weekend, Israel once again accepted the special envoy Steve Witkoff's proposal for a ceasefire and release of the hostages. Once again, Hamas refused and rejected the proposal. Therefore, Israel has no choice but to resume its military operation for achieving its just objectives. Releasing our 58 hostages still held in inhumane conditions in the hands of Hamas. Dismantling Hamas military capabilities and making sure that Gaza will no longer possess a threat to the Israeli citizens. This war is Hamas' sole and full responsibility. Hamas is responsible for starting the war on October 7th with horrific massacre. Hamas is still responsible for the continuation of the war by its refusal to release our hostages and its refusal to lay down its arms. Hamas can end this war immediately by releasing our hostages, laying down the arms, and the war is over. Regarding the humanitarian aid, Israel facilitated the entrance of aid into the Gaza Strip throughout the war. During the 42nd days of the ceasefire starting in January, Israel facilitated the enormous amount of 25,000 trucks of aid into Gaza. This resulted in huge surplus in food and other items. But Hamas hijacked the aid. Hamas monetized the aid in order to feed its engine of war, recruiting militants, recruiting more terrorists, and weaponizing. This has prolonged the war, no question. The former US President Joe Biden himself stated in October 23rd that if Hamas would take control of the aid supply, it should be stopped. The purpose of the aid is to help the population, not to support Hamas. This is the rationale behind the new American model for aid presented 10 days ago by US Ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee. Few words about the new model of aid. An international fund, GHF, will operate based on this principle: direct aid to the population in Gaza, but not to Hamas. Israel supports this plan fully. The fund will distribute the aid in several distribution centers located in safe areas in Gaza. The IDF will not take part of the distribution. The IDF will secure the perimeter. The distribution sites should be operating in a matter of days. Having said that, regarding the resuming of the aid today, I would like to elaborate a little bit. From the beginning of the war, Israel has stated clearly, we are monitoring the levels of basic items in Gaza, and we will facilitate the supply of items in low levels in order to avoid shortages. Due to these statements, Israel is now allowing the supply of such items to the population. This will continue until the beginning of the operation of the new fund, in a matter of days. The purpose of this is to temporarily bridge the current needs until the fund's operation begins and supplies these items. The items to be supplied immediately include flour to the main bakeries operated by international organizations in the Gaza Strip, supplies of items to central kitchens operated by international organizations, baby food, and medical supplies. The IDF already engaged with the international organizations in order to immediately resume their supply operation. Today, Israel is facilitating the entry of trucks with baby food into Gaza. In the coming days, Israel will facilitate the entry of dozens of aid trucks. Its conclusion, the bottom line is clear. Israel always complies with international law and with its obligations and statements. Everyone in the international community should take a decision which side he is on Israel's side or on the Hamas side.
Thank you, Director General. We'll now open it for questions. Yes, please.